the
Mess
Hall. I'm your host. One of them.
I'm also a host. The
Another
other
one of them. Andrew Youngblood, Jamie Rowan. We're back with another edition. Straight to the dome.
Bow, bow, bow.
That's pretty good. That sounded dumb. Straight to the dome.
Yeah, I feel like
good.
it was supposed to sound douchey. That's what we were going for, right?
I was trying to sound cool.
Should we do the whole episode like radio DJs? Like
I don't have the energy.
what would our like nickname? Yeah, I know we're both like too sad sack to do it, but what would our nicknames be? Like, have you ever thought about that? If you were like,
I had someone take my last name as their DJ name.
Honestly, Youngblood. The
DJ
coolest
Youngblood
thing
in the
about
house.
you is your last name.
I do have a DJ name. I DJ. I know that's a little douchey sounding, but I do DJ. I used to DJ every other week. You want to
Give us the DJ name. We're all waiting with
Okay.
bated breath.
Well, I thought you were judging me for a while.
Oh, I was, and I am.
My DJ name was DJ Robo Cops.
That is so dumb.
I liked it. It's cops. First of all, it's Robo Cops with an S, plural, and I think that's pretty fun. And it's RoboCop. I like RoboCop. I always liked RoboCop.
Did you wear an outfit?
No. Nope. I just got drunk and played music, and it worked out pretty well.
Explain. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
It was funny sounding. DJ RoboCops.
I think Pouncers is still your best thing you've come up with.
Well, that was a long time ago, and DJing pays better than pouncing.
It's true. Okay, so if you were on the radio, would you go back to that well? Would you be welcome to
Oh my
AM
God.
radio with DJ
You thought I was a
RoboCops?
DJ like that.
No. I know you meant like I did events and I was so cool, but I'm talking about if you were a radio DJ, would you keep your DJ name?
No.
DJ Pounce.
I would use my
Hey.
I'd just use my name.
And I'd be DJ Pussy.
Welcome to Andrew Youngblood in the morning. I'm your host. Something like that. That's good.
I'm
Is
your
that a
host,
good?
DJ Pounce.
Is that
and
a?
I'm your co-host, DJ Pussy.
Yeah. Welcome to Pound Town. Wah 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 wah. That's what we call it. Yeah. And then there'd
Fart
be some audio
noises.
clips. That'd be fun.
Sex noises.
Yeah. And then sex noises. I was just thinking like a girl going, oh, daddy. And then we're like, oh yeah. We're kicking it off every morning at 5 a.m.
Bringing you the hottest hits at 97.1.
Uncensored.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Uncensored in the morning.
Let's fuck the podcast. Let's start a radio show.
So edgy.
Yeah.
I remember, speaking of like fake edgy, there was this radio show I listened to on the way to high school, like before there were podcasts and things, and it was Radio from Hell, and I was like, ooh, I listen to Radio from Hell in
What
the
a
morning.
badass. I used to listen to the radio all the time in the morning, and grew up in upstate New York. We're poor as hell, and so they'd always be giving out. They're like, we're giving out tickets to the haunted house this October. Third caller to know this, and I'd be like, call it in, and I'd always win them. And then to the point where the like radio station were like, Andrew, is that you again? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
They give you free shit.
Yeah, because we listened and we were poor. People want to help poor people out, I think.
Not me, but I guess other
Well, you're not poor.
good people. Clip that.
Oh wait, you don't want to help poor people out.
I'm playing into the evil. Yeah, remember I want the world to go hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play that up.
I forget about some of the wild
Shit that I say.
yes, the wild opinions.
But my point was hunger.
You wouldn't make a porn
But let me tell
to
you this.
save the entire world of
let
hunger.
me explain. Actually, let's go back to this real quick. Let me cover this. The biggest killer of human beings in the world. Do you know what it is?
Hunger.
Cardiac disease.
Cancer.
Heart disease.
Okay. So if they
Do you know
starved
what that is?
Yeah.
It is your arteries being, specifically, it is this arterial blockage, right? That is filled up with fat, causing your heart to stop. So the thing that kills more people than anything else in the entire world is heart disease.
So you're saving people by letting them starve.
So what I said is,
Wow.
I want to fight for world happiness. If I could give everyone a much more difficult thing, the feeling of happiness and joy, then they wouldn't make bad choices because they'd be happy and joyful and confident. And I said, I don't want to say world hunger because that's such like a 1980s bullshit thing to say. I think about things, and I think the best thing I could give humanity is joy, happiness, confidence. If I could give those like feelings to people. But no one cares about that. They just clip the evil shit that I say because I'm evil.
Exactly. I don't think that's how it was said. We were talking about, I go, would you make a porno for $1 million? You go, no. And I go, 5 million. And you go, no. I go, what if it solved world hunger? And then you go, no. That's the context of this. This wasn't, I want to give everyone happiness. You refuse to do a porn to save the entire world.
There are other personal issues that we don't need to go into on this podcast that I'll just say, like, I generally, unless you've gained my trust over like a decade, I generally like hugs from a bunch of people. I hug everyone. But other than that, I don't like to be touched by anyone almost ever.
What does that have to do with you?
Even people I love. So doing a porn, you have to be touched by some weirdo.
It could be your husband.
No. It's usually like, I'm picturing like I'm in LA, I'm in the valley, there's some like bad lighting.
Well, I'm saying this could be, I'm saying it could be with your husband.
There's somebody like fucking.
This could be you releasing it with your husband.
What's the guy with the foot-long dick? It's Ron Jeremy.
He's in jail. Well, he's not in jail. He's in a mental institution.
Exactly. It's someone like that.
He claimed, I think, insanity because he fucking
raped 18,000 women.
Ron Jeremy has a lot of allegations out about him.
This is the porn world. This is what I don't want. It's no.
Well, I just said one porn to solve world hunger, and you go, nope.
Yeah, I stand by that.
That's absurd. That's an absurd thing, I think.
Why? How did we come to this? What were we talking about before this?
I don't know.
This evil stuff that you say, Jane. I
think we were talking about porn.
One thing that's funny, the clip of you saying that on YouTube, someone commented and they were like, damn, that's crazy that she would say that, but I'd give it a go.
Wait, what do you mean? Give what a go?
He was talking about you. He was like, damn, she's crazy, but yeah, I might give it a shot.
That's
like
nice.
Hooking up with me?
I think so.
You finally got a fan.
I don't know who you are, but you're the first person to say anything nice on social media or online. And I'm going to just speak to you directly right now. You get me. And I love you. And we're meant to be together.
Your husband's going to feel pretty weird about that one.
No, he's like, take her.
Yeah, that's true. He's over it. I get it.
He's over it. It's been, I'll say it's been a lot with me.
Oh, I imagine. The dog dying, you're probably in shambles, and he's like, just stop crying for 1 second.
Actually, like I said, I only
Did
cry.
he cry when the dog died?
I don't want to call him out too much, but I will say I've seen him cry twice in our relationship.
And that was one of them.
Yes.
Aw.
Yeah. It's a lot.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's a lot. He
weird. I felt when you said that right now, I felt like real sadness for a second.
Yeah, well, you met him.
I know, I did meet him.
And he's a very good time guy. And so like to have him, it took him a long time to convince him to get that dog. He really likes his life. He likes his freedom. We're both very independent people. We do whatever the hell we want. So to have a responsibility like that, it took a long time to convince him. And he fell so deeply in love with that dog. Like, even though the dog was a pain in the ass, that really, the truth is, you think you know what your roles are going to be. Like, if we were parents, we talked about this. Like, he's going to be the fun one. I'm going to be the disciplinarian. That's how it ends up being. And same thing with the end of the dog's life. Like, you would think he's he's the man of the house. He's the tough guy. We're pretty traditional, like, sorry, ladies, in our roles. Even though we don't have kids and stuff, and I'm very free and I do whatever I want. But I like him taking charge, but I knew it was going to be me that made the final it's done choice.
They really choked the dog out of it.
I mean, honestly, though, pretty much.
Damn.
It was me because I knew he couldn't do it.
Did you get the dog cremated?
He's coming back to us in a couple days. He's cremated. We have a little paw print. We have a little clip of his fur. Honestly, Lap of Love was amazing. They were fucking amazing.
Clip of his fur. Well, did you ever think about getting him stuffed?
So no, but this is so creepy. So we got a new bed frame. We're getting some new stuff because he was like throwing up and shitting on everything. So sorry if this is sad, everyone, but we have this bed frame and he would sleep in bed with us every night. And Frenchies are very like, they have breathing issues and they snore really loud. It's very cute. And he would like fart and snore and he had all of his saliva on the bed frame. Like we have
You gonna clone him?
a fabric bed frame. We wanted to take my husband didn't. I wanted to literally cut out the piece of fabric on the bed frame where all of his saliva had glopped up and made it kind of like discolored and nasty and like frame that.
My sheets look like that, but it's just cum.
You're like a fucking teenage boy. Don't lie, because everybody that listens to this podcast knows you've come like twice in the past 7 months.
That's true.
It's just shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, Andrew ate old crab today on purpose.
No, I did eat it on purpose. I didn't know. My stomach hurts a little bit. Yeah, let's just say that. I think that's.
Is that your regular state of being? I feel like that is a Jewish thing.
My stomach hurts a lot all the time, and I think it's more of an alcoholic thing. I think it's because I'm drinking whiskeys every night. So if I didn't drink whiskey every single night, then my stomach wouldn't always hurt. But that's just the life I live.
Have you done the test? Like I know you've done. You do things I don't do. I think everything in moderation, but you do those occasional like strict. I'm not drinking for 30 days thing. I feel like
a long time.
But you have done it. Did you notice a difference?
Yes. The most I've done is I went 17 days like 6 months ago.
And you were still having the shits. You have it no matter what. I'm telling you, it's a Jewish thing.
No. I got better. It goes a little bit. It's drinking. It's a lot of drinking. I'm telling you right now. It's a lot. You can't drink 10 to 50. You can't drink 60 whiskeys in a week and be like, oh, my stomach is perfect.
Is that true? Ben, you're laughing. Do you think that's true? I don't know. I guess I don't drink to excess, but I drink
I don't think Ben drinks
consistently.
60 whiskeys in a week.
I mean, I drink a good amount of whiskey too, but yeah, it changes the situation for sure. Like Hannibal Buress had a great bit about it. He stopped drinking. And he's like, now I have excellent shits. Like I used to have Flava Flav shits. Now I've got like Wesley Snipes shits. Like it was a good bit, and he's detailing like, yeah, your shits get better if you stop drinking.
Did you see that video of Flava Flav singing the national anthem?
I did see that. That was funny.
It is bad. Someone let him sing it at like a hockey game.
But is it so bad that it's good?
No, it's so bad it's bad.
Yeah,
That's why, by the way, support local comedy. Just thought of that for some reason when you said
Wait, what?
so bad that it's good.
Oh, yeah.
No, honestly, I was thinking of improv, but also love you improv people of Houston, but
You're really backtracking here.
I know. I don't know why I say terrible things and then
I didn't think it was that bad.
is it not?
Side note about the national anthem, Taylor and I were watching the Flava Flav one, and then we watched the Fergie one where she was at like a Golden State Warriors game, and she was so bad that the team started laughing at her in the middle of it.
I've seen a couple of them like that, yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Did you do any shows this week?
Yeah, I did a few shows, mostly Secret Group, actually.
Ooh, how are they?
Well, we did TNA. I was a little tipsy at that one. So the past 3 shows, though, that I've done, I feel like have been the most consistent. I feel like I'm usually like this more. So it feels really good that I feel like good.
Yeah.
Like
Consistency is key. You know,
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's the main difference I noticed when I feel like I leveled up. Comedy's always, for me, it's always like this. It's like you go up and you plateau, and then you go up and then you plateau, right? And every time I go up, I notice like, oh, I've become a lot more consistent. And so it's like, you know, when I first started, you probably, if you really look back at your old shit, you know, when you first start, you're probably bombing 85% of the time, you know, like it's bad. And then, you know, and then you're bombing 80% of the time, and then you're bombing 75. And then finally you get to the threshold where you're like, okay, well now I'm doing really well 80% of the time. And then you're like, well, now it's moving up to 90% of the time. You know, it's nice. And so it's always, Yeah, I always just notice the consistency is like that's when you're taking that next step. It feels like.
I think this is with anything and outside of comedy too, but definitely with comedy or anything in the arts. Like, you kind of have to be a little bit delusional in the beginning. Like, why would anyone keep going when they suck?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, or I don't know. When I first started, it was weird because the very first set I did was on a show, and I did really well. But I mean, looking back, it's probably stunk. But I remember like the audience laughing, like the entire audience, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then I got off, and a lot of my comics friends were like, "Dude, that was your first time. That's so crazy." Blah blah blah. And they're like, "That was awesome. I can't believe you're so funny." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I just bombed forever after that.
I feel like I got super lucky with my first show too.
But the first show got me hooked, and then I was bombing, and I was just searching for fucking that. I remember the very first thing I did on stage. It didn't even make any sense. As I walk up on stage, and I bummed a cigarette for someone in the first row, and I lit it and I put it in my mouth, and I was like shaky, but I was like making it work, like I was making it look like I was really nervous, and I totally was nervous, but I was making it look like I was like couldn't handle it, and then I took one drag of it and then I stomped it out on stage. I was like, "Smoking's bad for you." It was so stupid. It was the dumbest thing that ever happened. And then I remember I had some pretty bad jokes. I had one where I started in November. And so I was like, the New Year's coming up. And so you guys got your resolutions ready yet? And they'd be like, yeah, or no, whatever. And I go, I got some resolutions. I heard if you write them down, you're more likely to follow through with them. You guys mind if I share mine with y'all? And then I pulled out a piece of paper, and I'd go, first resolution is stop. The second one is give up. And then the third one is to see a BBW eating at BWW. I'm just a fan of alliteration. It was so bad. It was bad. Those were what I started with.
That's not bad. And
it's pretty fucking bad right there.
I feel like I had a New Year's Eve and resolutions bit too. But it was like February, and I was like basically something about like, and being the same person still or something like that. But I feel like it worked, and it was like a crowd work bit where it was like you could make it a conversation with people in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, you're still obviously not doing that thing that you said you were going to do 2 weeks ago. And so I feel like those kind of bits help with like crowd interaction, which for me I feel like I was super robotic at first.
Yeah.
And so one of the best things I've noticed, you still have to write, you still have to do stuff outside of it. But one of the things that I've noticed that's made me more consistent lately is not preparing so much.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you should prepare. I'm psychotic, so that made me worse. I think
I gotta have if I'm doing a real show, like a real show, I gotta have a set list. I gotta have it written out. I gotta see it. I gotta get lost.
But you're more natural. Like, you've been doing it longer. For me, I have to let go of that. Yeah. I used to write. People have set lists. Mm-hmm. This is psychotic. I used to write everything.
Word.
Pauses. ... Word, like psychotic.
I just write one word.
And now I just have to force myself not to even think of what I'm doing.
Huh.
And go and try to be as because I know my jokes now. Even the new shit that I'm working on, like, I'm so intense that I know every word. So like, it makes me more natural and have more fun, and people can feel that when I don't prep. So I will write like and do all that shit on my own. But I've had to force myself to not prep so much, and it's made it better lately.
I mean, there is something about me seeming more relaxed up there, and and it takes a while to, I think, find your truer voice. There's like when you start to get comfortable up there, you find your voice shows up more.
I feel like this is the worst thing that we talk about.
No, people love to talk about comedy. That's why the people are listening, because they like comedy. No?
I think they like you. That's why they're listening.
No, that's not it. They hate my guts. But I think part of comedy is finding your voice. You can get good at jokes and good at delivering jokes, but then it is how is my voice coming across? Instead of like, all right, well, I open for this person, this person, this person, and you can see those little pieces of those other people in you, when you're like performing, because it's hard to hang out with someone all the time and not pick up some mannerisms or some like.
I don't really watch comedy that much anymore. It's a little sad, actually.
Well, you should get on that.
No, I specifically try to avoid it now. I will start again, but I specifically try to avoid it now for that reason.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think it's good though. You're getting more consistent. You're getting more casual on stage, and I think that's a good way to being up there and just fucking around.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
It's sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it is fun just to go up there and be like, I don't know really what I wanted to talk about. Here it is. Let's fuck around a little bit.
I still don't fuck around that much. I know what I'm gonna. I know my jokes, but I will fuck around a little bit more. And when something sad happens, I notice I'm more comfortable. I know that's terrible, but I'm funnier and more comfortable when a sad thing just happened in my life.
Yeah, I like going around and like I like not every set because this is would be crazy, but I get a big rush out of it to just if I'm doing like a short set just to go up and be like I'm just gonna do all new stuff and let's just do
or like that minute mic on Sundays. I've never done it, but I feel like that could be.
Seems like a waste of time. 1 minute.
I know.
Jesus.
I think then
I couldn't even get out a fucking full
But there's
joke.
like an ego thing. I think then they vote for a good minute and then you get more time if you were a good minute. I think it's Jeff Joe. By the way, such a funny Houston comic. Follow him. Also opens for Russell Peters. So funny. I think it's Jeff Joe's room at Axelrad.
Okay. Yeah,
which is a cool bar, and they actually have good cocktails for those of you that also don't drink beer or wine like me.
Mm.
Yeah.
I had a cocktail.
Freudian slip.
I had a cocktail last night. I went to this is a place I feel like you would go to. I went to Clarkwood.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Well, Clarkwood.
Have you been there?
So I've been there one time.
Yeah.
But it is very sceney. So I think the owners of Clay, that nightclub,
that checks out. Yeah.
Own that. So you'll notice. I don't know.
It's hip. It's cool.
I don't know how to put it without sounding
douchey,
racist. But there's a certain type of person that's always there.
Asians.
No. The owners are flashy. They love.
Wow. I didn't see one black person there, by the way.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Jesus
Try
Christ.
again. Say it.
Indian?
No.
White?
No.
What races? Are we running out of races here?
Yeah, you are. But anyway.
Hold on. Arab?
Yeah.
Okay.
The owner is, and it's very that nightclub flashy vibe.
It was,
and it's
very expensive as hell. I had a espresso martini.
I wasn't super impressed with my cocktail, I'll say. You know who's actually kind of douchey?
Had a
Sorry,
fucking marshmallow in it.
No,
it's gross.
He definitely doesn't listen to this, so I feel like I can say it. But the owner of some of the best cocktail bars in this city is kind of a douchey dude.
Okay,
but he has amazing taste. He does an amazing job at creating restaurants, bars, whatever. So I would take it every day of the week, and every time he gives a suggestion, I trust it.
What is his full name?
He owns.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He owns some of the best bars in Houston.
Which bars? Anvil?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that's what you were.
Yeah.
I've never met the guy, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
I'm not. So, by the way, think he is amazing at what he does. Impeccable. So good. But it's not so much sceney. Like, it's truly about the product. Like, he doesn't. It's always busy, but it's not like it. What the fuck is happening over here? His crab is literally in his cheeks right now. That is so disgusting.
I think I almost puked right there. That was close. And something came up a little, and then I was like, and then I had heartburn, and then I was like dying, and I couldn't breathe, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I almost thought about running into the other room.
You're giving me flashbacks of my French bulldog. It's really upsetting.
Oh man. Is it the snoring? Jamie, it's me.
You're Milton reincarnated.
What if Milton is getting into my soul right now?
I wish I
what's that
believed in
called?
any of that.
What's that called? Where the fucking
Possession?
yeah, I'm getting possessed by your
No,
fucking.
there's this Reddit thing called Tilpas or Dilpas. Ben maybe can
Tulpas?
Tulpas,
Yeah.
where you like, isn't that like where
about small
people think
plates?
they're an animal and reincarnated or something like that?
There is a like those websites of people that look like their pets. You ever
I
seen
have
that? Those are
seen
fun.
I've seen Instagram like little like of that.
Yeah.
What would you be as a dog? Oh, you'd be a Rottweiler.
I don't think so.
They're actually
Do
kind of
Rottweilers have great eyes?
they don't have blue eyes, but I still feel like you're
I
not
don't
like
think
a
I would be-
husky.
I don't think I would be a Rottweiler. I think a Rottweiler, you know,
What do
yeah.
you want to be,
I don't
Andrew?
know. I don't know. I'm thinking there. Maybe a lab? Would definitely be like a.
You're not. Labs are very like. You need.
Yeah, but they seem kind of like a white dog, you know? What? Like I'm white. I'm just trying, you know? I'm not going to be a Rottweiler.
Gross. I don't want to be a non-white dog.
Oh, I'm just saying.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying if we're saying certain dogs are certain people, you know, like all right, like what are those ones with the mean ones with a bunch of hair? They're like poofy.
Oh, chow chows.
Chow chows, definitely Asian dog, right? Don't you see that a little? A chow chow is
I could
definitely an
see-
Asian dog.
But it would have to be like a fat Asian. If it was like a look-alike thing, it would have to
Well,
be like
I
Kim
think there's
Jong-un.
just hair, or one of those an Asian that does a mukbang. You know what mukbang is?
Yeah, but they can be very tiny. Have you ever noticed
Yes,
that?
I know that. There's a little fat kid that does mukbangs, and I watch him on the internet. He just eats fucking.
That's so cute.
he'll
Will
eat,
you
like,
send
he'll
it
just
to me
grab a
after
squid
this?
and just fucking eat a squid. It's fucking gross. But you know, so like, all right, Irish. What dog would Irish be? Some kind of drunken dog.
I'm just going off
setter?
of physical appearance.
What'd you say?
He's not like a setter.
An Irish setter? That's what I was thinking.
Look
okay.
at him.
No, yeah. Well, I'm not saying I would be an Irish. I'm trying to correlate dogs to every different race right now. All right, I'm trying to,
Oh
see.
God.
This is some slippery stuff.
Yeah, let's. When you were in Ireland, Scotland,
Neither one of those places I've ever been.
The UK.
So,
you were in a castle, and so I thought Scotland, but you were in the UK. Were there dogs?
yeah, there were dogs in bars just hanging out.
What was the most British dog that you saw?
I know there's a dog that was just hanging out in a bar. I don't know what kind it was. Some kind of collie, maybe.
Did
Some
it look
wiry
like you?
hair. No, not at all. Maybe what about a mastiff? Could I be a mastiff?
That's too big.
Too big?
You need
I'm
a more
pretty
like
big.
emotional dog.
Uh,
I still think a
retriever,
Rottweiler.
maybe? Rottweiler. That's definitely a black dog.
No, it isn't.
That's
No,
an
it's
African
not.
American dog right there.
A girl Rottweiler. That's so
I would
sweet
not be
and
a girl
affectionate.
Rottweiler.
Kind
I'm not a
of.
girl.
Yeah, but like attitude and physical looks.
I think
You want to be like
retriever.
you want to be this weird all American. You want to start
I'm not
like
that.
modeling for like Tommy
What
Hilfiger.
about like, are
and,
there
like
any what dog would be goth? You know, maybe I'd be like a goth dog.
what's a
Like
goth
husky,
dog?
maybe.
A husky?
Is that
I don't like that. I'm not gonna be a husky.
Because they have those real icy eyes and the black and white face.
Yeah. Ooh, what about a German Shepherd? No, that's kind of a cop dog. Literally, they're cops.
right in?
What dog
Call
do you
us
think
at
I would be?
832-744-9492. Tell us your mess and tell us what kind of dog Andrew would be.
What?
Look, these guys are starting a metal band right here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Those-
think I'd be one of those though. What
They seem
what-
like they've
what
got their
race do you
shit
think a
together
Saint
more than
Bernard would
Andrew.
be?
You need a little bit of like a
What race do you think a Saint Bernard would be?
German, maybe?
Swiss.
Okay, you guys are just
Yeah,
going
Swiss.
like, what are they? Where
Swiss
are they
with a
from?
bell on.
Maybe it's Saint Bernard.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see Saint Bernard.
Yeah, I think that's it. Saint Bernard, big, doofy, drools a lot. Also, Beethoven was a cool movie.
I think they're kind of smart.
I don't know about
I think
that.
they're kind of
Look at
smart
that.
and sweet.
Oh, that's
Okay, now I'm
you.
convinced. There you
That's
are.
you.
That is my facial expression. That is totally my facial expression right there.
He's so cute.
Honestly, that is adorable.
I do remember Beethoven the movie?
Yeah, of
That was
course I
fun.
do. I loved all those kind of movies
Beethoven
when
the
I was little.
second, Beethoven the third. I think there's like 10 of them.
Yeah, I didn't do all that. Remember, what was the one where they got like
Airbuds.
lost in nature?
Homeward Bound.
Homeward
Bound 2,
Bound.
Lost in the City. I think maybe it's not called Lost in the City, but yeah, Homeward Bound was dope, man. Chance, Shadow, and Sassy the cat.
Yep.
Sassy was Roseanne.
No,
Wasn't
it
it?
Sally Fields?
Oh,
Sally
you might be. Yeah, I
Fields.
don't know why I think it was Roseanne. You know who was Roseanne? Look Who's Talking
Roseanne?
too.
That's
The baby from Look Who's Talking. That's why I got, those voiceover movies, they're all the same. The
Honestly,
two kids get lost. They have to go across the city to find their owners.
Roseanne is a psycho.
I like Roseanne.
She's great. I
think she's so funny.
She was in Vegas.
Yeah, I think she's so funny. She says some crazy shit.
She's
she
great.
did get in trouble for saying some racist shit. But
I don't know if she's still funny, and I hate to say that because I think she was too. But her new
we're
special,
the expert here, Ben.
her
I'm
new
kidding.
special. Have you seen it though?
No, I have not watched the new special.
I saw her in Las Vegas on podcasts, and she was very, very funny on those podcasts. I think part of that funniness is like the freedom of like, she has the like financial freedom and fame to be like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. And so she says things that other people probably wouldn't say. And that's where, again, these weren't like written jokes, right? I just saw her on podcast, but she was free to say whatever the hell she wanted, and she did. And some of it was like wild and insane ramblings, but pretty funny.
Yeah. I think that is probably part of it because she lost everything when she got canceled,
I think
obviously
she's
still,
all right.
yeah, I'm sure she still gets Roseanne money. That fucking show still plays reruns all the time.
She's fine.
I'm sure she's fine financially, but she got kicked. I do think it was weird that they kicked her off the Connors show. That's so wild to me.
She has people,
Like, I get it. She got in trouble and all that stuff. But just in that show, Roseanne without Roseanne is fucking not Roseanne at all. That's just a crazy
there are those
thing.
people who are like dig their heels in more, like her more now. So like I will tell you every room full of like a couple hundred people that she was in during these podcasts were like chanting her name, and like she has people that love her, protect her, she has her podcast now. She does things like she's fine.
She's funny on podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
But
She's
I'll have
just
to watch the
wild.
special and then make a decision.
I never watch anyone's special anymore.
Just look what she looks like though. And this is her new special.
That's what she looks like.
Yeah.
Huh?
But to be fair,
What's wrong
like
with that?
I
How old is Roseanne? Because
Ooh,
honestly, in that photo, she looks pretty good.
I
bet you she's 70 years old, and that's killer for 70.
yeah, she almost looks better, I think, than when she was younger. But I will say, like, people also, I don't know what the average person likes, because if you look at the biggest stadium sellout comics, I don't like the top 3.
Who are the top 3?
And like, I went and saw Andrew Schultz. People love him. Listen, I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell out of anybody that does comedy now. Like, it's a hard thing to do, and it's subjective. So, I mean, good for his fans. I didn't love it. I thought the guy that was the feature act when I went and
was the
saw
feature
him
act?
was way, way funnier.
Who was it?
I feel like this is so dumb because he's way famous, and I don't want to take any. I don't.
Who was it?
Andrew's great, but it was some Austin comic with long curly hair.
You don't know his name?
I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I feel like people know. It's like his hair is like he's a relatively young dude, married, lives in Austin, does comedy in Austin, and his hair is like down to his thighs, long curly haired white dude.
Huh. Never heard of him.
Anyway, very funny.
Nice.
Is it Mark Ganon?
Might be.
Was it the Infamous tour that you saw him?
Maybe. Can you put a picture up of him?
I'm looking for it.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, what did I want to? There were also.
Oh yeah, that looks like him. Okay, hold on, I'll show you.
Yeah, I was like, can we put it up here?
We can with all the
That guy.
Yes, follow this guy. Very funny. Very, very funny. Made me
Never
laugh
heard of
harder than
him.
Andrew Schultz. And by the way, Andrew Schultz, I was engaged the whole time because he talks about his whole special without giving too much away because, you know, he talks about his infertility stuff with his wife and then what happened with it. So I related to it super personally. I just didn't think I was engaged. I just didn't think it was that funny.
You didn't love it.
And I feel like a lot of people when they get super famous start doing that like more kind of one man show vibes more than comedy.
Well, this is how I kind of feel about it, and maybe I'm wrong, but what happens is it's really hard to get famous, obviously, and I think you have to be so funny to get there, and once you get there, you have fans, and then
they want to know
sometimes you become a character, and the stuff you're writing is specific for your fans. Right now, you don't have fans, right? Before you're famous, you don't have fans. So you're just writing things that are funny for everybody. You want them to be funny. And then once you have your audience, you're like, well, I have my audience. I'm writing for them now. And you can get away with a little more that way, which is kind of nice because you know your people, you know what they like. You might be able to be a little dirtier, a little racier, a little edgier, because you already have your fans at that point, right? So I think that's why comics, they pop off and everyone's like, man, their first special was the best. It's almost always that way. It's sometimes the second one too. But after that, people are like, well, I didn't love their third special because it, just really was kind of more just about them or I don't know.
Preachy or something.
Or whatever. But
it was very personal. It was, listen, I like the theater. So like for me, it doesn't have to be a laugh a minute. Like I enjoy theater. I enjoyed hearing this story about his family.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as far as straight jokes, as far as pure comedy, I liked that guy better.
Gotcha.
That being said, I'm sure Andrew Schultz is 18,000 times more talented than most people we know.
Yeah.
Very, very confident, funny dude.
And I'm not standing up for Schultz. I'm not saying anything really, but there is a difference between going out there and doing the middle spot 20 to 30 minutes rather than an hour, right? So you go out there, you do 20, 30 minutes, you can just go boom, boom, joke, here we go. These people don't know me. So I'm just going boom. Like I'm just trying to get as many jokes as possible. And then he's got to go up there and it's got to be a roller coaster. It's got to be like highs, lows. You got to have a good dismount. You got to have the hour planned out. Yeah. So there's a lot more to it than that. So I think it's a lot of times it's easier to go up, just have a killer 20 minutes and then, and then the headliner can come out and they got to ease their way, but they have to have a whole arc to the whole thing.
Yes, absolutely. And to be fair, I'm in a room too. Remember, I'm in a room with people who English is not their first language. So like the energy was also kind of like, it's this big room. The energy's kind of weird. Like there's so many things that comics have to deal with. I respect the hell out of him. I hope I made that very clear. Respect the hell out of him. But
respect Andrew Schultz.
He has a brand and he has people who are there
for
him as a person rather than super comedy nerds.
Especially because he's got a podcast. So that really changes the dynamic of a show.
Yeah, I mean, coming off of going to Skankfest, where people are there for comedy purely, and these are comedy nerds, comedy fans who care about writing, who care about how many jokes in a minute. These are people who are just excited to see Andrew and hear about his life. What in the fuck is happening over here? My co-host is dying.
Oh. Man,
where is the crab situated? Is it coming up or down? Out of the asshole or out of the mouth?
I don't know. It's fighting to come up, I think. That was, I can breathe now. That hurt. It was like right there.
Do you want to take a Tums?
Let's take a question. It's about that time.
All right.
Did we talk about comedy too much on this one?
No, it's good. People like to know about comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as boring as you think, I think.
Okay. All right.
Okay, this one's a little long, but it's got a lot of details, so you might like it. My girlfriend and I have been together for almost 5 years now. We bought a house together 2 years ago, and we share a dog together. Our plan is to first get settled into our house before getting engaged. And now that 2 years have passed, she started to express more and more desire to be engaged and to move on to the next chapter of our lives. I'm confident that she's the person I want to be with for the rest of my life, but I guess I just don't see the big deal in getting engaged or married right away. I also think there is more growing up we need to do individually and as a couple before we take that leap. For context, I have already been married and divorced once before. It came up again a few weeks ago, and as we're closing in on the second year in our house, and my girlfriend is upset that we haven't made any progress in the engagement. I feel this is slightly unfair as she is now planning on getting me an engagement ring and proposing to me, and we have discussed plans for that. She explained that she would no longer bring up an engagement at all, as she believes we'll never progress further in our relationship. We got into an argument where we both said things that we didn't mean, though we later apologized and made up. Ever since, though, she's been real quiet and just not her usual self. She says that nothing is wrong, and when I ask, she's still present with me and keeping up with her work, hobbies, etc., but she's definitely not as proactively affectionate, and sex has been pretty much taken off the table. I know that this is related to the fight we had, but we apologized to each other, so I'm not sure what else to do.
Well. How did your husband propose to you?
Brute force from me.
Were you like, is this letter written by your husband before you guys got?
This resonates deeply with me. First of all, you just have to communicate. That is everything you're feeling at all times. People think
you don't have to communicate everything you were feeling at all times. Always
every
keep
moment.
Some shit to yourself.
No.
Everyone needs a little bit of space. I can't tell you everything that I ever.
But
felt
it just
ever.
Creates more.
Do you know what happened if I told everyone everything I felt always?
You would feel so free. You would feel so free.
Nope. I have
Andrew,
thoughts that are crazy.
Yeah, but Andrew, how free would you feel if you just were like, there's nothing to you can come at me, but I've said everything. I think, especially in a relationship.
That's crazy.
But, well, first of all, let's actually start with the sex thing. Sex is off the table. Don't get married if sex is off the table. That is everything. If you're not fucking, you're just friends.
Yeah. Plus, you guys should have sex in the bed, not on the table.
You should. No, make it fun. Have sex on the table. Literally, everything in your life will be worse if you're not
if you marry
actively on each other's genitals. Okay? Get on each other.
Get in each other.
Get in each other. Get on each other. Be on tables. Be on beds. Everything in your relationship will be better when you're in each other.
When everyone's coming.
Yes.
It's better.
Make that happen. Now, once that's happening, so take care of that. Once that's happening, you absolutely have to discuss this. It is so weird and confusing that you said you don't want to get engaged, so she got an engagement ring for you, but you're not talking about it. Like, what?
Yeah, that did get a little confusing. He said they spoke about her engaging to him.
It's weird. Well, it's weird to pre-plan your engagement, I think. I think that's something... Man, I'll tell you how I got engaged, and I regret it. And so... not only that, I will also let you know how I wanted to get engaged and how it was ruined by a stupid person that sounds a lot like this person who was pressuring me into doing it way before I wanted to do it. And so my first advice to you...
Don't feel bad saying what you want, what you need in a relationship, sir, ever. Don't listen to people.
If you don't feel like you want to get engaged yet, just don't fucking do it. Because this is supposed to be a lifetime decision. Sex is off the table. She's giving you the cold shoulder just because you weren't ready to engage yet. You know? And let's be honest. Even if you got engaged right now, you asked her right now, she's going to know that you only did it to make her happy. Wouldn't she rather know in her head that it was... it was organic and real. So this is my story, and it is a tale of woe. I tell you. I met a girl. We liked each other. We were having a good time. We moved into each other. Multiple times. We moved in with each other. Her parents are a little old fashioned. Found out that we lived together and was like, "Hey, you guys can't live together unless you plan on getting married." And then we were dating, and it was pretty serious. We lived together, and I was like, "We totally could get married. Like that'd be cool, right?" We did not get engaged yet. Now we had a favorite song together, and we were going to see this artist 6 months from then. I had written to the artist, being like, "Hey, I want to get engaged. I would love to do it at your show. I don't need to do it on stage or anything, but like this is the song that we both love. We think it's our favorite song, and I would love to do it there." And I did this as a surprise. I was very excited to do it. Now we have the same thing that you just had. She's losing it that I have not gotten engaged yet. Well, I have this thing 6 months away that I'm waiting for. I have it planned, right? And then
Quick pause. How old are you?
young, stupid.
Yes. So that's
Also young.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
If you're in your 30s, did they say how old they were, Ben?
Let me double check.
So he's checking, but I will say,
I was in my 20s at the time.
Just acknowledge, like, I know ultimatums and all that shit is annoying, but I just want to acknowledge you are also way too young.
Yes, I agree. But I had a nice romantic plan.
It is very romantic.
I wanted it that way. We get into this big fight about how I have not gotten engaged yet. I have not asked her yet, right? And it becomes this whole thing. She's mad at me. She's stomping around the house, fucking pissed off. And I'm like, we're like 2 or 3 months away from this show now.
Was sex off the table?
Probably for at least temporarily, right? And so then finally I break down. I was like, I guess I'll just do it in this fucking apartment. So I just cooked her dinner, really nice dinner. She came home from work. And then, and I had like candles and all that bullshit. And I asked her in our fucking tiny little apartment, and then she was happy. And then we went to that show, and obviously didn't matter at that point. So we just watched the show.
You could re-ask at the show.
No, you don't get my beautiful plan because you ruined my beautiful plan.
Did they ever
And
write
guess
back
what?
to you?
We're divorced. And I think that all started there.
So everyone is biased by their own experience. So I will say, like, yes, ultimatums, all those things, generally it's annoying, doesn't work. But I also am realistic, and men, it's just natural for them to be more, I feel like I'm talking in a more traditional, like, heterosexual situation. So it might be different in gay relationships or polyamorous relationships. But I'm just talking about from my experience in a, like, pretty basic bitch heterosexual relationship. Like, men tend to be more afraid to commit and settle down. And I did have to push. That's not like sexy or fun to say. Like, of course I want to tell everybody some princess story where like we never broke up and we never had issues and it was fine and I never had to push. But I had to push to get a dog. I had to push to do IVF. I had to push to get married. I am now like, if I got pregnant tomorrow, I'd have to push for him to be comfortable with that. But the thing is, if you have a good man, he'll rise to the occasion. So you were trying to rise to the occasion for her. People are never going to be perfectly in sync. Sometimes, yes, in a magical story, like you both are so on the same page, but sometimes you have to push someone. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes it works out for the better. So I had to, after a terrible breakup with my person and him not wanting or feeling ready to commit, that break was super painful, but then he realized he didn't want to lose me, and part of not losing me was committing. So is that the most romantic story where I got proposed to at a concert and blah, blah? No, it isn't. But now we're happy. So like, I had to push, and that's not sexy, but I think if you're honest about what you want, then that nothing bad can come from that. Even if it's a breakup and that seems bad, if you're honest about what you want, what you both want, nothing is better than that. Like, you just have to say.
Yeah, but I think, man, I don't like, you shouldn't feel pressured into doing something you're not ready for. But here's the thing is, she doesn't get to choose when you when you
never
ask,
feel ready for certain hard things in life.
Guess what? You don't get to choose if she proposes to you. So you just have to answer. She's going to propose to you. So just fucking whatever. That is the thing is if they want to, it's 2023. A girl can propose now. That's pretty common now.
But if he says no, it might end the relationship.
Well, then just say yes. If you want to do it, say yes. But yes, you could go, well, let me think about it.
Okay, when you go like cliff diving or whatever, sometimes, or skydiving or whatever, sometimes the person has to push you out of the plane a little bit, right? Like anything hard,
they don't have to,
anything difficult is anything worth doing is often very scary, right?
This, to me, you and I have such different opinions on this. This is one of the first times we're not.
Yeah,
you're like bully your man into marrying you. Do it. And I'm like, listen, don't do anything you don't want to do. And she's like, sometimes you just got to push them. That's it. Sometimes you got to put that peer pressure on. Otherwise, I don't get what I want.
No, my priority in life
is you.
So, of course.
And getting what
By
you
the
want.
way, hold on. He is saying that in a shameful way. I just want to I want to do a PSA to everyone. Men, this is not just women. This is men too.
Okay.
And you.
No.
Andrew, right now. Single Andrew who's going on dates. So this is actually to you.
Why are you going to say it like that?
You should be your own fucking priority. By the way, I care about you as a friend, and you're like saying jokingly that I am my own priority, but abso-fucking-lutely I am, and you should be your top priority. And I know that doesn't sound romantic because someone else, like, you should be like unselfish and care about. No, you cannot properly love or care about someone else if you're not taking care of yourself. So I told my person what I needed and what I wanted, honestly, and I said to him, if you can't provide that to me, I will be so devastated and sad about that, but I genuinely want you to be happy. So if I'm not that for you, then don't do that. And I still mean that to this day. Ironically, we're very independent people. Yes, I'm married to this person, but like we live our own lives. We trust each other deeply. I want him to be happy and have fun and do all the things he dreams of. There's not a bigger supporter of him than me in this world. I'm his best friend.
Okay.
And he is mine. That being said, he is part of the reason I'm confident enough to say, and his value of me has given me value of myself enough to say that of course I'm my own priority.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. And I was fucking with you. You should be a priority, but this is pressuring someone to do something they're not ready for, and I don't think that's okay.
You have to say what you want, though.
You can say, yes, there's a difference between saying what you want, being like, hey, I would like to do this, and then go, oh, well, I didn't get this right now, or we're not getting this because of, you don't agree with me, so guess what? We're not having sex anymore. I'm giving you the cold shoulder.
We're not having sex anymore. But
I'm throwing a fit, basically.
No,
This is the adult equivalent of this person throwing a fit.
But there are a million reasons why women, by the way, especially women, because there's literally a biological time clock on some women. So I think about, like, I was thinking about me having kids. Honestly, though,
Your clock would never had a battery in it.
This sounds
never
sad.
Set.
I could have had kids potentially when I was younger if we had done all this stuff sooner. So that's not his fault. I never mention that to him. I truly don't. But what I'm saying is, like, a lot of men will take advantage of the, like, I'm scared, I'm not ready, I'm fearful. And I think you have to have enough self-respect not to throw a fit, not to be rude, not to be disrespectful, but to say, like, hey, I respect you, I love you, I want you to be happy and have a commitment when you're ready. But right now is when I'm ready. And I'm not going to wait around for even 3, 4, 5 more years forever. I know in a romantic Disney fucking princess movie, you would wait for him like a perfect doting woman forever.
Okay,
but no.
Well, now you're
No, you deserve to be happy. You don't have to hold your happiness for another 5 years. There's going to be a man out there that's ready for you.
This doesn't sound like years, though. This sounds like it's just waiting a little bit. No? Who knows? I don't know. I don't think we help this person at all.
That
'Cause
is so
you and I feel very different.
That is so manipulative. to
She's
be like,
being
it's a few
manipulative.
months. I think she's being honest.
But then she's throwing a fit because she didn't get what she wanted.
That part is not okay. The
See?
withholding sex, the whatever, like, just end it. I'm very 0 to 60. Nothing or everything. Now, if you're not ready to give me everything, cool. Wish you the best. Go fuck 8 million other women. There are a lot of hotties out there. There are a lot of women that are like, by the way, I said this to my husband when there are so many women out there that are younger than me, skinnier than me, smarter than me, more successful than me, whatever.
Prettier than you.
Go for
More
it.
charismatic than you.
All the
bigger boobs than you.
definitely.
Nicer body
by the
than
way,
you.
99% bigger boobs.
Yes. Mentally stabler than you.
Maybe not that one so much, but like, genuinely, you're not. It'll be painful, but like, if you really love this person, let him go experience that. That's what I did. I was like, okay. And then if it's meant to be, it'll
Let
be
him free. Cut the, what is it? Let him fly.
I feel like I'm going on too much about this because I'm passionate about it.
Oh yeah, you are passionate about pressure.
But also, like, I also believe in his freedom and his, his individuality to choose what he does with that information, right? I just give my truth and then let your person that you love do whatever they want with that truth. So honestly, what he did, what my person did when I put that pressure on was say bye. And that hurt so bad, but I'm so fucking grateful I did it. It was the best thing I ever did, was stand up for what I wanted.
Yeah.
It was the best thing I ever did. Truly. And we could have never gotten back together. That could have been the result. And I still believe I would have been better off, because at the end of the day, what you're describing as pressure, I think of as self-confidence and self-worth.
Okay. I get your point.
Now, staying in the relationship and punishing the person with little passive aggressive bullshit and withholding sex and all that stuff, that is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being loving to the person, meeting them where they are and saying, okay, I'm not the best for you right now. I hope you find what is.
I got you. I don't think this person's doing that. I think it's a slightly different situation.
True.
But, did we help? I don't know. I think you should leave this bitch.
Did we help?
I don't think you should leave her. Or maybe. I don't care. I do care.
Are you, by the way, can we talk
we gotta
about,
cut all that.
Are you 20? Then
True.
don't.
Yeah, don't feel pressured. You got your whole life ahead of you. The both of you do. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe y'all are not. But they did buy a house together, so.
But it's
right?
okay to fuck all that and go. By the way, if you are 20, I think don't take the pressure. I'm saying, like, if someone's pressuring you, like, that's their truth, but you also don't have to give into it. You just go have fun. If you're young and like still experiencing shit, go do that. That's so valuable.
Did we get an age on these people?
No, but he did say he was married and divorced before, so I'm guessing early 30s, late 20s.
Married and divorced.
See, that's where I kind of, not to side with anybody, but I kind of lean with Andrew of saying he's making it clear what his reservations are. He's been married before. He's been divorced before. He wants their relationship to mature. And that's what he said, but she's just like, no, I just want it to move forward. So I feel like she's not listening to him.
I also feel like once you got married and divorced, you don't want to. You realize the mistakes you made, like rushing in, or whatever the mistakes were for each person, obviously. But like you realize those, and you're like, all right, well now I don't want to rush into the next one. I think it would be cool to get married again. I'm not against it, right? But if I were to do it, it would be with the right person, and I would know that for sure.
But I feel like both you and Ben are not hearing what I'm saying.
Oh,
So
we heard you.
No, I totally hear what you're saying. I think that this situation is different from yours, Jamie. That's
no,
all I'm saying.
I know, but what I'm saying is then Ben, like I'm agreeing with you in a weird way because what I'm saying is she should stay what she wants. She shouldn't give up on what she wants, but neither should he. So if he knows that, as heartbreaking as it is, maybe this is a gift she's giving him. This pressure, this thing she needs and wants, she could get from someone who's not him.
You are kind of saying the same thing in the fact that you're like, listen, break up.
Yeah.
And I'm saying break up, but I'm saying break up for different reasons. You're saying break up because it's not what you want. I go, break up with her because she's pressuring you, and that's bullshit.
Well, yeah, we're actually saying the same thing. I'm saying so you can call it pressure, whatever. I think she's standing up for herself, but also to her that she wasn't the writer in her, but she should also like find a man who is ready. And this guy should respect his own boundaries. He's not ready. He's been through marriage, which probably very much clarified to him what he wants the next time around. So, dude, I'm on your side too. Like, fucking wait for the woman who is the right person and let this woman have a quick marriage and be in a more intense thing more quickly with someone who's ready. Y'all are both right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, look at that. Did we help? I don't know. Oh, you know what kind of scares me? The idea of someone listening to this podcast and then going, "They're right. I should break up with somebody," or like anyone taking any of our actual advice. It's like it's so funny to me. Just the idea of people taking our advice.
Breaking up is not. Everyone acts like that's the worst thing in the world.
It's tough. Nobody wants to be alone. And also, you're buying a house together. That gets complicated.
That's what I was gonna say. That's
also,
a big
starting over is tough. You know, when you put in the years of commitment, or you know, the years and of like that relationship, it's tough to let it go. You know,
I know
and
that
the
so
idea,
deeply,
the idea
but it's
of
worth it.
the idea of starting over with someone new, and you're like, God, I miss my best friend. You know,
but that person isn't. It's okay to break up, everyone. Do it.
this has gotten sad.
Is it sad? I think it's so there's so many opportunities after a breakup. It's so sad at first and then it's like the best.
Yeah, maybe.
I genuinely think breaking up is the best thing most people could do.
Well, you and your husband should break up.
We did.
No, you should break
and
up
it was
again, though.
the best thing that ever happened to
Do you
me.
think it'd be good if when you break up the second time?
I mean, it's different. But I've had so many other breakups in life, in my family. There are all kinds of friendships, family, like, and it's what is supposed to happen.
When do you think this podcast we're gonna break up?
My friend sent me a thing that was like, I don't believe in the sign shit, but my girlfriends do. They also believe in ghosts. You know who you are. It's embarrassing. But she sent me this thing about like, I'm a water sign. And it was like all these different signs. Like there's that friend in every group. The air sign wants to do this and that, and then it's like, and the water sign is just waiting to kill everyone. And then it was like this brunette girl and she was like kind of looked like me and she looked evilly at everyone. I was like, that's what people think of me.
Those are the memes. I'm glad I'm not in a meme group with you. I don't want to see those memes. You got to send me good stuff.
You know, the best memes I get are from someone I'm peripherally
Yeah, that works.
peripherally friends with, and she's very smart but very unstable. And she does the best memes.
Unstable people do the most posting, and they're always the best.
The best.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll share with you after. I'm not
Nice.
going to put her on blast here.
What do you got coming up?
Yeah, just more shows in Houston because I'm finally here for like several consecutive months. So yeah, follow me at jamieroancomedy.com and at the Jamie Roan and at the Mess Hall Pod.
There you go. At No Youngblood on all the social media bullshit. This weekend I will be with TJ Miller in Traverse City, Michigan. Please come out. Next weekend, Austin, Texas. Thanksgiving Day weekend with Sean Patton. That'll be great. And then Rory Scovel next weekend after that in Austin and Dallas. Get tickets to all those things, please. Come out, say hi, and slap me in the face. And then, of course, you guys will never stop hearing about it. But the special December 8th and 9th, please get tickets for it. I'm working hard, so you guys will laugh at my shitty jokes. Please come out and support. I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Suck my dick.
Bye.